And welcome to another Sunday session. Here we are live from here. You've been here before. If you're a regular, give it a thumbs up. And what a glorious Sunday it's been after a great week of, some mild precipitation, made the crops look good. Had some events this week that I'd love to talk about providing from within one's business. So, when Muzz gets here, we'll lean into that about, what we can provide within our business and how that relates to ourselves within online business and all that fun stuff that I love to talk about. So here we are. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here's Murray. Come on, Meta. Work with me here. Here he is.
G'day. How are we?
Absolutely marvellous. How's your week been, Muzz?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a week, but we're getting there. Got a beverage, which is not so bad.
Good.
How about yourself?
I've been partaking in a few. Yeah, but I just like, there you go, that's better. You can see me now. I can see me on a camera. Makes for a better video when you can see who's talking.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I digress. So, as I posted in the group on Friday, some lovely lamb chops as provided from within the family business. And that's the subject of today, providing within. Wasn't without effort. He had to take them there Monday. The butcher did his job, paid for his services. Thank you very much to that butcher. And come home with glory in a box. And did some trade with that sort of product. And, that's part of the stuff. Helps make things go around, Nothing wrong with a good beer economy and things like that.
Yeah.
But it reminded me cooking the barbie on Friday night of those glorious Cheviot Cross Merino lamb chops of two things that are going on in recent weeks. So one, I'll put a plug in for the DBM sheep studs that the sales happening soon.
Yep.
Be next Friday to my recollection, September 6th. Put that in your calendars and come inquire and take home some lovely white Suffolk, and Cheviot rams. But so I was eating the Merino Cross Cheviot lamb chops, and they tasted awesome. That's one of the reasons why I bred them. The other thing that it reminded me of is look at the things we can provide within our business. And I was showing a workman even today. He's going, he's trying to clipper his beard, and he had sunscreen on, and he couldn't get. He's going, I can't wash the sunscreen out because it's 4-hour water resistant. And I went, hey mate, hang on here. I've got you. Ready for this? Whip out the old 11.5 from under the cupboard. I said, try a bit of this. Squirt a bit on my hand. I'd washed my hands. There was a bit of grease and stuff on my hands from working on a tractor this morning, and more come off. After I'd used soap and water, washed my hands, and then 11.5's been under the cupboard for 3 months in the spray bottle. Rubbed it on my hand, and more stuff come off. And I said, look, if you did that after I've washed my hands, this sunscreen in your beard, spray this on, it'll just wash straight out. He goes, yeah, I'll give it a go. And it's just one of the another bonuses of having the machines we have in our kitchen. I said to him, like, other places I use it, it's like window cleaner. And I do it on the harvester. So I fill up a big bottle of it because you've got the machine at home, so you can keep making it. So 2 litres in a pump spray bottle, like you would put degreaser in, those sort of things. And then go and spray down the harvester windows or the truck windows. Give them a wipe down with a paper towel. And because of the properties of the 11.5, not only getting rid of all the bugs and stuff, and the ionic structure, and you're talking about magnetism now, about what attracts and repels stuff, because 11.5 is of the opposite end to the highly negative or positive attractant that the window is that the dust sticking to, then you counteract that. And when you neutralize the attraction of the window, less dust sticks to it and things like that. So 3 days on the harvester without having to de-dust the windows is a bonus. And the truck, well, new truck now. So we haven't named this truck. Maybe young fella and I'll sit down and name this truck.
Maybe a shot.
But, you know, it's from within the business and the benefits that we get. So, you know, you grow some wheat, you can make bread. You grow some barley. If you just happen to have a garden full of hops, you can make yourself a couple of beers. You know, there's things you can do. So imagine trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. We even had a joking discussion with the workmen. There's like, could you survive the zombie apocalypse where you are right now? I went, yeah, you know, I could. I got paddocks full of sheep. I got grain growing. I got protection sorted out without saying too much in the online business, which could be deemed inappropriate. I've got the protection sorted without being over the top. You know, enough's enough. And so, yeah, I'd be right for years and have enough food for 30, 40, 100 people if I had to.
Yes.
So, you know, that's what you can provide within your business. And then, you know, imagine if you built this beautiful online business where we all had these beautiful machines and we're all providing for our families, and the extra money and the legacy we build is providing more for our families. And then we can all survive zombie apocalypses or world, what are those things? Pandemics. So you know, you can not participate in them because you can have your own little safety. What a magical world that would be if you had the finances and the abilities to look after the people you care about the most. What a, you know,
absolutely.
How awesome is that?
Pretty special, I would have thought.
Yeah. I just haven't quite worked out the recipe to make my matzos, mate. I have to grow a few ginger plants to go with the ginger beard to make the ginger beer.
Well, I mean, ginger is supposed to be very easy to grow, and sugar could be an issue, but I mean, this is the thing from what you're saying, like before, during this apocalypse, you got all this wonderful stuff. Okay, take me, for example. I don't grow crops. I don't grow grains, but my neighbour does. But I've got beef. So I could do a trade for, you know, kilo for kilo, whatever we work out a barter system. And I think we touched on this not long ago as well. But, you know, so if you match those, you could either trade for sugar or you might be able to talk to it. I'm pretty sure you can get the same effects. You can make your home brew using honey as opposed to using sugar.
Sugar source right there. Just get a couple of bees out of the natural wildlife and away we go. There you go. So we solved the problem, Muzz, online. There we go. Solved. See, there's nothing we can't achieve in this world and in this business. And it's like, you know, that's when you think about, if you go to the dream, like what, all the fancy stuff on the vision board and blah, 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 you can dream on material things or you can dream on lifestyle things. So I've watched many people online and they go, imagine you're sitting at the head of the table, you're old, you're 90. I think we did the rocking chair test the other week. And you're at the table and there's all these people looking at you because you got sons and daughters and families and grandkids all around the table, and granddad's such an awesome person because he did something years ago and created this, you know, legacy and safety for the generations to come. And it's like, wow, granddad's such an awesome person. And he can just carve up the lamb roast, or tonight here it's a pork roast. But, you know, just granddad's going to carve up the roast as the head of the table and hands out the meat as traditional, you know. So that's such a wonderful thought process. And if you analyze your life, and like you've just said, you don't grow grain, you swap. So there's things that I can swap out here for people to, you know, better their lives, particularly if the water keeps raining. You know, if the rain keeps coming, I've got plenty of water to put through this machine to create not only 11.5, 2.5 to clean the benches. I can shower with my Nespa, having all these wonderful things cleaning me and the extra minerals that puts back in the water. plus drinking the best water for me, I can be detoxed and healthy and able to do all this work. It's like, wow, what an epic life.
Absolutely. And never mind the legacy that comes with that.
And is another conversation had with said workman. We're talking about dreams and aspirations and his plan. So he's an international guy, and he's got dreams of having a farm back home. I said, all right, so best way to have dreams is find out what it's going to cost and put steps in place to cover that cost. So, he's working, he nutted out how much is a couple of acres in Malaysia going to cost him, how much would a tractor cost him, what would he grow, we sort of worked through some of the costs, how to run a farm. So I got my budget out, what's your cropping area, what's your fertilizer, what's your chemical, are you going to use chemical, what's your operational costs, what's your fixed costs, what's your variable costs. We got right into the discussion on how the business works without me revealing over too much about my financial situation. He's a very trustworthy person, but to explain to him how it would apply to his business and go, now you take that plan, cost that out, and then the goal in the next, he's in Australia for another year and a couple of months. By the time he goes home, how much can he earn?
Yes.
So how much of that then versus how much can he borrow? Does he have to borrow? Can he pay it all with cash? So I said, the idea, if you want to go farming, and don't do it like me, it's been a ride from mistakes of previous times to what I'm paying for now and the things I have to do now to cover costs and all that wonderful joy. If you could start again, and if you had year one costs covered, so if you would have a blank slate, you could, buy your 10 hectares. If you had enough cash flow to put the fertilizer and the wheat in the ground and pay someone to put it in and pay someone to take it off, could you do that? And if it didn't rain, would it matter? That's what I went. If you plan for a drought and you plan for the worst case scenario, when it's average or above, you're doing better than the worst case scenario. So you're winning.
Yeah.
And he sat
That's
down,
really good thought process.
He's got a plan. He's now acting on that plan. How much work can he do? Not just for me. He's gone off on his mining adventure as well. So the lucrative lure of mining, is there, and he can maximize his income to then take that home to live his dream on the house on the hill with his couple of acres. He's talking about growing peanuts and pine oil and stuff like that. So we looked at, that's what they do in Malaysia, right? Yeah. Some of their biggest commodities, or you Google the top 5 crops in a country, you get an idea of what markets you can work your way into to make a profitable business. So it was great analysing that for him and then talking to him about his legacy. And then he also asked me questions about what is my dream, where I discussed rebuilding the old homestead on the original part of the farm for me to move into as part of the retirement plan. Yeah. And it's like, that's cool. You've got all these things, you know how much it's going to cost. I said, there's plans everywhere. There's bits of paper everywhere. That office, this office, across the couch. There's a bill section on the couch at the moment. You got paid bills up there. You've got bills to be paid there. You've got bank statements there. You've got things coming in and out going there. And that's one side of the couch. That's the office. Apart from this office and that office, until I actually get Dinkum and sort it out, it's just a bit of a fly-by coffee table at the moment.
But that's it works for you, mate. And you said bits of paper, your buddy. You got all your plans written down here and there. No doubt you got your job lists, you've got your shopping lists, you've got your, already set up the to-do lists. It's I think it's good. Like I used to be much the same at the station. Your buddy the kitchen table, you barely could use it. The only time it cleaned off is if you had the bank manager come out to visit. You know, he cleaned it all off. So, right, oh, yeah, no, this is, we're completely responsible here. We've got everything under control.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a table at Mum and Dad's like that too. That was the dining table. It only got cleaned when the accountant came over or the bank manager or the farm advisors come out, so you got to clean that table off. So Dad moved his piles off. It was a hilarious little game, and I suppose the apple doesn't fall far from the tree on that one.
It's hard. It's a bit of monkey see, monkey do, and you know, it's just things you do. You get busy, and I mean, I always laugh at myself because I'd stack all the stuff off the table and put it somewhere else so it was out of the way, which I'll then forget about for a week, and then I'll just start a whole new collection over the table. It was very rare to, you know, eventually, I think once a year I'd find all these old stacks, go through them and just have this massive chuck out because, like, really, do I still need this bloody filter package from bloody 6 months ago? I've got the filter now.
Yeah. Or the old trick is sometimes you'll move the pile and you might forget that bill. And then you get the reminder in the mail and you go, oh, shit, fuck, where's that bill? Like, swear I paid it. Shit. And you're scrambling, you panic, and then you dive through and you go, shit, now I've got to sort this out because I've just made a mess again. And organised chaos.
Yeah. Organised chaos. What's the, what do they call it? You'd be into this. You'd know, like, the chaotic neutral, chaotic negative, or, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Sort of. Yeah, I've got kids, mate. That's just pure chaos.
Yeah, I don't know the pleasures of it yet, but the animals are enough to keep me occupied.
Yeah, I'll say if you want to know what kids are like, get a cat.
Yeah, right.
because a dog is nothing like a child. Dogs are obedient and they understand things. Cats are just fucking masters of their own universe, and they're a pain in the ass. So I'm not a cat person, if you haven't guessed.
No, I wouldn't have told. Yeah.
Nah. But yeah, kids in an essence can be like cats.
Yes.
So said child is currently doing what he wants to do on his little Xbox. Yeah. And then when I say it's time to get off, there is going to be a meowing tantrum. And then it's going to be meow for dinner. And then it's going to be meow, I don't want to have a shower. And it's going to be meow, I don't want to go to bed now, but meow, it's a school night. But I really want to go to school either. Meow, meow, meow. A fucking cat. Right? It's a bloody cat. But it's not, because kids get to a certain age and they start back-chatting. And then it's not a cat, it's an attitude. He must be a horse.
Must be a horse.
Must be a horse.
Yeah. And
they got a bit of attitude. They like to push their weight around.
And, yeah, start to develop their own opinion and, it'd be yeah.
Yeah, I think
enough said.
You got the picture now, Muzz.
No, and look, it's very interesting, and it's amazing opportunities, like going back to what you're saying before about all the things that we've got. I mean, you're making me think about, you know, how to support myself here if things are all wrong. I mean, as you know, like yourself, we do our own meat. Well, I mean, you know, I'm lucky enough to be able to do my own killers, beef. Now, those white things behind me, ruse. I mean, yeah. Look, it's amazing what you can pull out of your own business to survive for yourself. And one of our neighbours up at the station there. Well, we all done the rounds. We've all had to go at pigs. We all ran pigs for a while. Like, you know, only sort of like, you know, a couple of sows and a boar each. We mum and dad did it when I was a kid, and then all the neighbours had taken turns. And and very recently, one of these neighbours took it on again, bloke my age, a bit older than me, and it was always a bit funny because he doesn't like pork much himself, but he said the beauty of it is that it's another way to get rid of your scraps and stuff and what have you. But he said, like, for all those deals, like, you know, look, thanks very much for giving me a hand with mustering or the fencing or whatever, or you know, like, hey, there'd be a paycheck, but also this would be like your bonus, like your Christmas bonus, whatever. Yep. You know, get half a pig or a pig, and you know, all that sort of stuff. And so I don't know about yourself. I find a lot of pride in having your own meat or your own thing that you can provide, not just for the business itself, for the sake of financial gain, but for the sake of I have the ability to provide meat for my friends, for my family, and you know, for those, like, you know, somebody did a bit of a cash job for us. Not even a cash job. It was anyway, a long involved story. But to thank him, we gave him an esky full of meat and said, look, you did this for basically nothing. We'd really be honoured if you could take this. And it was great because, of course, I mean, as we know, it's not cheap for those who have to buy meat out of town. So the fact that we can help them, which is saves them financially, but also the benefits of getting it fresh off the farm, off the property, station, farm, whatever, you get the gist, is huge. And so, and that gets, generally, I've only heard one complaint from some meat we've given someone, and that doesn't really matter anymore. But it's just so interesting. It's just so it fills your heart.
Yeah, and that's right. It's that warm fuzzies like the good old days when everyone helped everyone to survive, and you know, Joe Bloggs has a sheep, Joe Bloggs has a cow, Joe Bloggs has a horse to pull the plough, and everyone works together to put the crops in. And someone might have a bigger silo, so they have that type of grain, and then someone might have a different plan. They might have the haystack in their shed to look after the hay a bit better, and everyone sort of borrows a bit of hay, and you trade for it. So that trade is a beautiful system that I don't know how it was when Australia rode the sheep's back to victory, because it's not quite relevant these days. Because I've said my bit about keeping the sheep. Hashtag keep the sheep. Keep that one running. And
absolutely, stick it to them.
Yeah, I've still got a few weathers they can have in Parliament House if they really don't want them on a boat. Like, really, come on.
Yeah, it'd look quite good on the lawns in front of Parliament House there, wouldn't they, I reckon?
I reckon, and if I wanted to be nasty, I reckon give it a month or two. If I didn't crutch them, I could have a heap of fly-blown sheep, and I could just back hundreds of them onto the bloody, and the thing that upset the mobs is they'd all be mulesed. So they've cut their tails off and mules their backside, and they're still getting fly-blown. And then there's these not so wrinkly things dying on the steps of Parliament House because I can't look after them and put them on a boat.
You can't do anything with them. And no, it's a shit show, and I don't quite understand our certain leader. He'd want to be a fearful leader at this stage. Making that comment to the bloody overseas minister of some such description, and I still don't quite understand it. But I mean, he was trying to make light of the situation of no live export, no live sheep export, and I mean,
destroyed a marketplace. He destroyed a whole industry,
and he's making a joke of it, like you person, like you just, how dare you? Yeah, and anyway, I'm very hopeful for the next election.
Well, I've got a different theory. It goes somewhere along the thing of military dictatorship rather than elected people wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, side thought that come up then.
Yep.
Did you know sheep respond well to 8.5?
Do they really?
Yep. So if I have a sheep that might be in the shed for a bit long and it might be a bit thirsty, I will get my water bottle and tip some water down its throat of the 8.5. And they actually recover quicker, I would think, than if I went and got the tinny tank water outside and shoved that down their throat. So I have noticed over the time that that's my go-to. If you get a ewe down at the paddock with a bit of preg tox or something, splash a bit of 8.5 down the throat, get a bit of green grass, jam that down the throat, and give her 5 minutes, and away she goes.
Yeah, it's incredible stuff, and I was actually looking at a video today. A gentleman I follow on YouTube. There, I'm not too sure what nationality he is, but he has one of these wicked machines, and he was talking about whether he's from there. That's right. He was talking about the water in Morocco, of all places, and he said, like, don't drink the water, like it's awful, like it's just chlorine. And he did the pH test, tap water versus the Kangen water. Obviously, the Kangen water. He must have done a chlorine test. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Kangen water was clear, and the tap water just come up. It was like this awful bright yellow, light green, like it was. Anyway, chlorine.
Yeah, that's now, chlorine showing up. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you've seen it before, but he jammed a couple of bloody orange peels in the chlorinated water.
Yep.
And it sucked up all the chlorine out of it.
I've seen a different test. So same sort of thing, right? If you hold your fingers in that glass for 1 to 2 minutes, look how much your body absorbs out of that chlorine.
Oh, really?
Yep. Which is number one reason why everyone should have an Anespa shower. For that fact alone. Because I tell you what, when I go to other places to stay, the chlorine in the beard and things like that, I can feel the dryness, the bleaching effects. Yeah. Which is why I've got my beautiful colour still. It is that I live at home mostly. But, you know, you too, Muzz, will have a beautiful beard with more Anespa water, mate.
Oh, absolutely. It's no, that's what's happened. This crook water made it all fall out. It wasn't clippers at all.
Yeah, yeah. We'll go with that theory. Yeah.
No, and that's because I was thinking about it the other day. Oh, Mum and I went through a bit of a spell. We weren't feeling that flash, and because XYZ, my machine's not in commission at the moment. It's out of commission. Anyway, I was thinking about everyone spraying, and I'm actually at the stage where I can smell the chemicals in the air around here at the moment. And so when the neighbours are spraying, and ever since having met you and talked to you, 2-3 years on now, all I can think about is what you said about the chemicals on the roof of the sheds that are going into our rainwater tanks. And I'm just like, well, shit, that can't be good.
and it's only microscopic levels. Like, a lot of the spray controls and stuff now, we're highly efficient. But like I said, you can smell it. And the companies put the smell in the chemical so that you know what's happening. So because most chemicals don't naturally have an odor, some of these chemicals. So they put the odor in some of these chemicals, and the worse it smells, the more it's going to kill you. Some of these chemicals, if you do smell them, it is going to kill you. That's what they call a synthetic pyrethroid and all those fun things they put in bug killers. Mm-hmm. I won't get too sciencey on your Muzz. It'll just blow your head up, mate.
It's already making the melt a little bit now. But I mean, it just makes you think about like awful story like you and other farmers who you know, if you know, you know, would probably be horrified at. But I actually got dosed in spray seed some years ago, and I mean, we know how awful that shit is. But
you're lucky you're alive, mate.
Yeah, well, I suppose I am. But I just remember, for whatever reason, I just took it cheaply, and I was. Don't hate on me, but I was checking the filters and the spray and the sprayer jets, and because I just had the thing running, because I'll just like to see what's happening, and of course in the meantime it's all misting up around me, and it's getting I got soaked in this shit, and I was itchy for a day, and yuck, and I often think about that now, and I'm thinking, well, you know, I wonder what my longevity of life is going to be, but mind you, I mean, it's you know, horses for courses, but. It's just, it's scary.
Yeah. Well, we've over my time of dealing with chemicals, there's been situations where I haven't gloved up and had to deal with those sort of chemical stuff. But nowadays, you know, for a long time now, safety's been more and more. So all these machines, like the nitros, have got hand wash taps down the bottom and up near the cab. So
yes,
wow, for situations like that. And I should carry more gloves, but to have the old slip on a couple of gloves to go play with that nozzle first. Don't let it dribble down your sleeve, and you know, little things like that can make a big difference. But I myself have had acute chemical poisoning from dealing with chemicals back in the day. Drive around the old cruise, you got the window down, round and round you go, and you wonder why you got a headache for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, you're drinking water, you might have a headache for months, and you might start to feel yuck and not get hungry. And you're literally driving through the vapor of the chemical. That's what we're going a long way back for that sort of scenario, 20 plus years. But that was that scenario. And then I got to a stage where, you got the headache, you're constantly thirsty, you're not feeling that crash hot. And then the nose started bleeding. For no reason. It's like, duh, guess what? Symptoms of extreme chemical intake.
Exposure. Yeah. And that's terrifying, Stuart. I mean, I don't think I had anything quite that bad. Oh, yeah. And I'm not going to go down that route of that story right now because that was, anyway. But, I mean, to get the nosebleeds and headaches like that, I mean, that's pretty serious stuff, mate. And, and as you say, like there's probably a bit of old school practice there, but there's also like, thank God now we know, like, to be a bit more careful and Dad and I have had discussions on how best to handle certain dangerous goods.
I'm feeling you on that one. Yeah. Yep. Those discussions are had by every father and son.
Look, and I mean, and probably most like a lot of our fathers. Well, it's too late for me now. Well, no, it's not. Like I don't think that's ever really an excuse. I think you can still try, and little things get not chemical related, but just safety in general. I mean, now he's starting to wear earplugs and earmuffs to protect what little is left of his hearing, and thankfully, to a certain degree, because he wears, glasses for reading and that, he wears more time for grinding because he used to be awful for getting bits of steel in his eyes as a younger man. But it takes time, and with these discussions we've had, it makes you more and more aware of it, I think. And it's interesting.
And it's one of those things like one of the 5 things, like when we start this business, they go, you don't know what you don't know, but you know you don't know. And then you go to a stage of, you know, and then you understand what you know, and then you get to promote what you know. Because,
yes.
But if you don't know, you don't know. And when, back in the day, they didn't know how dangerous things were. They didn't respect how dangerous things were. You don't know what you don't know, but now you do know. You can do something, and then, but then you can do better and stuff like that. But I have this still the odd occasion where I can, as safe as things are, I can be exposed to certain elements of the boom spray variety, and I can feel like your skin gets a bit itchy, and sometimes I can get a bit. You can almost taste it in the beard, but I get to come home. First thing I do when I feel that is like, it's not this jacket, but if I have that jacket on, straight in the washing machine. Go home, straight in the shower, and then have that big hot shower, and you know it's gone. You can feel it washing off within seconds. Like, and that's the bonus of this shower. Probably really harping on about the shower at the moment, but this shower, I can feel as the water runs down your face, you can feel that feeling disappearing.
Yeah,
off your skin.
well, there you go.
And it's that quick. It's not like water where you might have to, like normal water. If I went to the bathroom sink, which is not plugged in the same system, go wash my face, it's not the same. Sort of rub it round and stuff. But if I get in the shower and just enjoy the shower, I'm going to really enjoy the shower tonight.
Absolutely.
But, and those are the, we just more bonuses that we're sharing about the value we get from the products in our business. We got sheep, we got cows, we got wheat, we got barley, we got canola, got some lupins. I've got a dog barking outside, which has given me the distraction. Wondering if it's come through the microphone. She'd be out my window telling me it's dinner time.
Can't hear it yet, but I must admit, thinking about dinner time, I need to start finishing off my chores as well, Stuart.
Yep. Oh, I think I heard the oven alarm before, so I got to go check the pork roast.
Well, that sounds good. Well, I hope you enjoy that, and thanks for a discussion today. It's been really interesting.
Been a good thing, and we'll see what reels we get, and we'll tag each other. And maybe I'll actually do it this week. I didn't do last week; it's got a bit slack.
Oh, it's all right, mate. I'm sorry, I've been a bit slack myself, but anyway, we'll hopefully things will pick up, and we'll be right. We've got this covered.
We've got this covered. We'll survive the zombie apocalypse together.
Absolutely.
All righty.
All right.
I'll sign off for us, will I?
Please.
Thanks to all the farmers for growing all the food, particularly all you farmers that have got beef, sheep, all that sort of stuff, and all your grains. Thank you. Doing a wonderful job. And don't forget the veggie farmers and the fruit guys as well. All doing a wonderful job. Thanks to all the truckies that move all those goods around Australia and the world, because if it gets to your table, it went on a truck. So be thankful for the truckies. And thanks to all the service people and veterans that serve our country, protecting our way of life, even from the zombie apocalypse. Thank you for your service. Peace out and have a good one, people. I think that's us for the day, and I don't want to burn this pork roast. So,
go. Catch you later, mate.
See you, Muzz.